Thoughts have a very high creative capacity. Whatever thought is housed and circulates within our head, in a way of speaking, it moves into the queue of manifestation, both at an individual level and collective level. But we very often misuse this faculty of thought. We think of stuff which has lower vibrations. If we are involved in situations where there is some chaos, we keep looking at the situation from different people's eyes, which is good. But however, we pick on thoughts of everybody also within us and house all of those vibrations and in a way manifest things which are not so nourishing. Broadly speaking, there could be three kinds of thoughts circulating within us. Say, for example, I'm reading on a subject, and no matter what is my level of concentration, I'm entering that field, and all the people who have done some work in that field, in a way I'm connecting, so I would have some thoughts around that. A second kind of thought is what is coming from my own past and my own thinking, my own memories, etc. The third kind of thought is in real time. Say I'm involved in a situation and people are discussing about me or something is going on. These will translate as vibrational frequencies and they will enter my head and I would experience it as thoughts based on the framework that I carry within me. So here's a practice that has been truly helping me, and I'm sharing it as a 3 simple process. First of all, the thought should not be inside our head, because this increases noise in the mind, it impacts our body and cells, and whatever is the vibration of the thought enters into our being. So the first step is actually to take the thought outside our head. Now, this is not mere imagination, nor is it a very difficult task. Just as you can push an eraser on the table a little from a point A to a point B, if you're first able to just see the thought, this is the first point. If you're able to see the thought, and you would see it as an image, you would see it as a person's face or a color or something circulating, something energetic, depends on our own inner sensorial capacity. The moment I catch, let's say, a portion of the thought and I detect it in my inner senses, even partially that is enough, I can just, in my inward eye, look a little bit above. It's almost like a diagonal above, a little bit outside my head. And with my inner will, with my inner awareness, I just gently push the thought outside my head, outside my mind, and actually, say for example, I'm seeing a person's face or I'm seeing a building, where I'm like, there's some work going on and there's some difficulty or whatever. When I see a partial image of the people or the building or whatsoever, this is the thought. So with my awareness and with my concentration, I just take this partial picture out of my head. Or I take I see a color, I see a circulatory movement. I just gently push it out a little bit outside my head. We're literally doing it, and with practice it'll come easy. So this is the very first step. Second is, we want to shift the consciousness of the thought in a non-manipulative manner. Kindly underline in a non-manipulative manner, which means we are not putting our personal agendas into it. No matter how high we are or low we are, it'll always have mixed agendas that are coming. So what do? The thought that is outside, I connect it to a source that I'm comfortable with. So those of us who have been doing the body work, etc., we have many sources. Just as an example, you may be able to connect above your head and feel a vastness, or you can feel the divine. Or you may be able to, for example, connect to a flower and feel the vibration or substance of the flower. Or you may like a particular photograph of a divine master, and it should be very tangible for you. The shows should be very tangible. Like, so for example, for me, it's the hair of the photographs of a master who I really follow. And for me, it is that as a source. If I just connect to the hair, if I can just connect to the subtle body of the master, then that is a source for me. So the second step is whatever source you are comfortable with, and that comes naturally. The source itself has a state of consciousness. For example, it can have a light, it can have a silence, it can have compassion, it can have joy, love, state of sweetness, state of high happiness, whatsoever in that state. You can also do it in nature. For example, you can sit in a garden or sit in front of a mountain, and the state that you feel there in the nature becomes the source. So in the second step, you are connecting the state of consciousness of the thought with the state of consciousness of the source, and you wait till the consciousness of the source by itself descends into the thought. So I'll give you an example. I have, say, pushed the building and the person and something circulatory which I'm not able to see. I push it out of my head, and let's say I connect to the subtle body of a divine master, and then I wait and I notice that some vibration of the master is entering into the thought itself. How do I know it? The color shifts, the energy shifts, something calms in the thought. You can do this depending on time. If I'm doing it in real time, my life is going on, then within a few seconds I can do it. Or, for example, if I'm sitting and doing it, I can give about 5-10 minutes. Simply hold both and wait. Simply hold both and wait. That's it. The third step is the most creative aspect. If you're doing it as a spiritual sadhana, then all you do it is that slightly transformed thought. You offer it to the source. You offer it to the divine for further transformation. If you're doing it for manifestation in the world, once again, kindly underline, we need to do it without any personal agenda. Then what you do is you just make an intention that the thought flows into the situations, into the families, into the work context, into the society context, into the world context, and manifests itself creatively because it now has a shifted newer source of consciousness. So that's just a few seconds. You just either direct the thought upward or just connect to the transforming thought and connect it into the situation and simply let go. This process can be done in a few seconds or can be done for 10-15 minutes, and it's seeming to have a great impact in the transformation of a thought.